there we go. Race 1 is underway as the machines roar and scream through the starting chute. Oh, Womax are out! Oh, they're airborne! There's contact! World Championship leaders and winners! Class 1 heads to a new destination, Terracina, Italy. Located in the heart of ancient Roman lands, Terracina has a history that goes back thousands of years, and the vestiges of its historic grandeur are all around. From the temple of Jupiter Anxur that overlooks the city from the rocky cliffs above, to the ancient Roman Forum that is now the modern piazza, and the Duomo di San Cesario Cathedral, built within the remains of an ancient Roman temple of Augustus. This is a vibrant, modern city that still has a quaint seaside fishing town feel to it, and is a noted getaway destination for affluent Italians and tourists alike. There are miles of sun-soaked sandy beaches, magnificent sunsets, succulent fresh seafood delivered to local restaurants daily, and a great nightlife. The people of Terracina live intimately with the sea, and powerboat racing has a long and illustrious history in Italy. This is round 3 of the UIM Class 1 World Powerboat Championship and round 2 of the European Championship, part of a festival weekend that included 3 classes of powerboat racing. The Italian love for aquatic motorsports was well demonstrated in Terracina as thousands lined the streets to welcome the Class 1 fleet in a boat parade that heralded the start of the Mediterranean Grand Prix. The team to beat here is the indomitable Victory 3, piloted by Mohamed Al-Mari and Arif Al-Zafin. 6 other teams from around the world are also here. Giants of powerboat racing, they're ready to put it all on the line. The battle lines have been drawn. The hard work and training will be put to the test here. Italian hopes lie with Luca Formilli Fendi Racing's all-Italian duo of Luca Formilli Fendi and Giovanni Carpitella. In the previous round at the Turkish Grand Prix in Istanbul, they came close to a win, with defending world champions Victory crashing out, unable to finish. But there was a major upset in the form of Hub Team Australia, which masterfully edged out Fendi 10 to win Race 1. In Race 2, Victory made up for their Race 1 disappointment by winning ahead of Fendi 10 and Hub Team Australia. Victory were back to doing what Victory does best. Now the pressure is higher than ever for Fendi to deliver to their thousands of fans on home waters. Fendi has another boat in the running, Fendi 8. New this season, they already have a podium to their name in Race 1 in Istanbul and will be a force to reckon with. It's throttled by Italian Alfredo Amato and driven by Jennings of Great Britain, a British racing ace with a flamboyant personality who kicked off Class 1 with a bang.
I started racing when I was 16. My father used to race motorcycles, and I guess racing's in the blood. So I started off with junior classes and worked my way up through inshore circuit, offshore 2 litre, 4 litre, Class 2, P1, and finally the ultimate Class 1.
But let's not forget the Norwegian-Turkish combo of Christian Zaborowski and Uğur in Zabo-Isiklar. They had a great third-place finish in race 1 of the last Turkish Grand Prix, but they were unable to make the start of race 2 with engine problems. They've been doing a serious amount of practice and testing in the run-up to Terracina and are true title contenders this year.
I believe Christian is a very good throttleman, and it's been our third season, so we're trying to get to understand each other's better and better race after race, and we're getting a better team now. We're becoming a better team.
The Mediterranean Grand Prix will be run on a 3-turn, 4.4 nautical mile course that features some of the longest racing straights yet seen in Class 1. Drivers review the course before setting out for practice on day 1. The course poses unique challenges for each team, good for some, not so good for others.
The course is very simple, very easy, offshore course, almost 5 miles a lap, 2 straight line, only 180 degrees turn, the other one was 90 degrees. So it's an exciting race also for the spectator. I think it's very nice. We need a little bit more rough.
I think this course you need top speed because it's a really long course, 2 miles. It's strange for us open sea, but I can deal with it, no problem.
Another crucial factor in this Grand Prix will be the propellers. While most teams use forged props, Zabo-Isiklar and Polyform will be introducing herring cast props, which will be mandatory for all teams in 2014 in an effort to reduce costs.
This is the Class 1 propeller for 2014. The difference between 2014 and what we had before, the forged propeller, is that the blades are welded on the hub. The weights are a little bit different. This cast propeller is a lot heavier and a lot thicker on the blade. All these areas here are thicker. You probably lose between 3 to 4, some places up to 5 miles an hour slower.
Teams using the herring props will be compensated for the loss of an average of 5 miles per hour, calculated by the number of laps in each race. Pole position, 1 hour to set the fastest time. Crews scramble to find the best gear to prop ratios and setups. The Edox pole position saw flat and calm conditions on the day, ideally suited for victory. Can they use this advantage over Fendi 10 and Zabo-Isiklar, who prefer their conditions a little rougher? Zabo-Isiklar were fast, posting a lap time of 2 minutes, 55.79 seconds. Victory appeared to be struggling through practice earlier in the day, but it all came together for them in Edox as they flew around the course, setting a fastest lap time of 2 minutes, 51.97 seconds, pushing Zabo down to second. Satisfied with their time, they returned to the pit.
Today when I test, I saw it's rough, then I make it set up for this rough sea. Now when I go back, I change our setup, then I found more speed, more stable. For this reason, I dropped 3 seconds.
Fendi 10 were struggling to find the pace to challenge Victory, over 3 seconds behind them.
It's going good, second time. Let's see if we can improve our time. Not so easy. Victor is going very fast, as usual. So now we change the ratio. Let's see, maybe we can do some a little bit better. I don't know.
Fendi 10 went back out for more laps and managed to slot into second place ahead of Zabo-Isiklar with a time of 2 minutes, 55.24 seconds. In Polyform, Gianpaolo Montevacci shared the cockpit with Guido Capellini for Edox, as Turkish newcomer Tadakuktam's arrival in Terracina was delayed. They set a time of 3 minutes, 6.15 seconds. That was beaten by Fendi 8 as Amato and Jennings took 4th spot with a time of 3 minutes, 3.97 seconds. So pole position for race 1 goes once again to Victory. Fendi 10 starts in second, Zabo-Isiklar third. Team Abu Dhabi and Farouk were unable to post times, both teams busy installing new engines in time for race 1. Victory now has a maximum 60 points from 3 Grand Prix this season, which means they win their 9th Edox pole position title. The countdown to race 1 was on. Team Abu Dhabi didn't make the start, while Polyform still had some niggling engine issues to overcome.
Yesterday we find a problem with the left engine, this morning a little bit better. Maybe we solved the problem for the race. We race with new propellers, airing propellers, and we have the time advantage. We try to go in the podium today.
Race 1 is 1 start lap, 9 race laps, and 1 long lap. Total racing distance of 53.06 nautical miles. As crowds lined the Terracina coast by their thousands, boats waited tensely for the green flag on the starting straight. The green flag is given, race 1 is go! Victory and Zabo-Isiklar fast off the mark on the nearly 2-mile drag race to the first turn buoy as Fendi 10 tries to keep up with the blue and red boats. Polyform has a good start. Montavoci and Tadakukdam in third, just behind Victory and Zabo-Isiklar. Victory pushes ahead of the Norwegian-Turkish team to their port side, Polyform falling behind a bit. The 2 Fendi boats trying to get some acceleration to close that gap with Victory. Victory gets to the first turn buoy firmly in command of the race, and Fendi 10 presses on the throttle to almost catch up with Zabo-Isiklar. Fendi 10 takes out the C1 buoy, incurring them a 25-second penalty right off the start. Zabo-Isiklar and Polyform will have 20 seconds taken off their final race time as compensation for using herring props, which all teams must use in 2014. So the pressure is now really on for Fendi. They'll need to open at least a 45-second lead on either of those boats now if they're to make the podium. It's a thrilling dogfight unfolding between Zabo-Isiklar and Fendi 10 as they complete their start lap. Victory's Mohamed Almari and Arif Al-Zafin are comfortably in the lead. Fendi gets the better of Zabo-Isiklar, but Zaborowski and Nashuk are right on their tail. Zabo-Isiklar and Fendi 10 with literally nothing separating the two as they go head to head. Carpitella puts the pedal to the metal and opens a lead over Zabo-Isiklar. Fendi 10 now know with the penalty they've incurred and the 20-second compensation that Zabo and Polyform are to receive, they're really going to have to go for it. They have 4 podiums this year, but a race win still eludes them, while Zabo-Isiklar have 2 runner-up finishes. Dropping down to 6th position, Polyform takes its long lap in lap 4, as does Farouk just ahead of them. Fendi 8's Amato and Jennings sit in 4th position, well ahead of Faro and Polyform, but just out of the reach of the top 3 boats. Polyform in trouble yet again, as they slow down, but try to keep going. In 5th position, Farouk Luca Nicolini and Jean-Maria Gabbiani racing consistently with their new engines. Into lap 6, Victory reigns supreme ahead of Fendi 10 and Zabo-Isiklar, Fendi 8 4th, Farouk 5th, and Polyform struggling to stay in it, bringing up the rear as they get lapped by Victory. Polyform is able to get its speed up yet again and continue the race as Fendi 10 laps them on their port side. The Italian crowds cheer Fendi 10 on. Into lap 10, Victory has opened a 40-second lead over Fendi 10, Zabo-Isiklar 3rd, then Fendi 8, Farouk and Polyform bringing up the rear. Victory misses a demarcation buoy, meaning they too would incur a 25-second penalty. But with a 25-second penalty also incurred by Fendi 10, it's unlikely they'll be able to take advantage of Victory's uncharacteristic mistake. Alfredo and Almari are just one lap away from their 4th win of the season. Race 1 of the Mediterranean Grand Prix goes to Victory. Fendi 10 finishes 2nd. Zabo-Isiklar finishes 3rd. Alfredo and Almari celebrate an exceptional performance. The 20-second prop compensation plus Fendi's 25-second penalty means that Zabo-Isiklar are runners-up ahead of Fendi 10.
It's really a great start. The weather is really flat. Our staff, he make it a good setup for us. It's really, I start semi-rocket with my driver. I am enjoy today.
Zabo was very fair, he took his line, he never crossed our line. He gave me my space to go my lane, and I challenged with him for more than one lap. It was amazing. This is real race.
Yeah. So they were a little bit in front of us, and then obviously they take their racing line, so we had to slow down a little bit. And then they opened up a little gap, and then we kept on trying to keep our distance to less than 20 seconds so that we can, once the race was over, that we can just be in front of them with that a little bit of an advantage we'll get out of the cast propellers. So this was the race.
Race 2, a 15-lap race with 2 long laps and a total racing distance of 72.62 nautical miles. Unable to race in Race 1, Team Abu Dhabi finished preparations just in time to compete in Race 2. There was qualifying to determine the starting lineup of Race 2, with Fendi 10 getting pole.
The pole this morning was exciting. We push a lot, we take some risk, not a lot. The waves outside between A and B is strange. Now the weather is a little bit changes. We have apported little changes on the boat too. And I hope it remain like this or a little bit more, the windy.
Would start in 2nd position on the starting grid, Zabo-Isiklar 3rd, then Polyform qualifying in 4th ahead of Fendi 8, followed by Ferretti and Team Abu Dhabi, 7 boats in all. Just as the green flag was about to be given, the race start was called off due to the proximity of outside boats to the course. This led to a 23-minute delay with boats using up crucial fuel, which teams calculate almost down to a drop so as to maintain the right weight-to-speed ratio. Finally, the restart was underway, the green flag went up, and once again, it was the Victory, Zabo-Isiklar and Polyform trio that led the charge on the long start chute. Fendi 8 was a few boat lengths behind Polyform to its starboard. Fendi 10 again had a slow start as Victory and Zabo-Isiklar took command of the race in a head-to-head charge to the first turn buoy. Victory opened its lead over Zabo-Isiklar and Polyform, with Fendi 10 trailing in 4th despite having the inside lane advantage. But Fendi 10 had the momentum and they thundered back into the race to once again go into a first-lap dogfight with perennial rivals Zabo-Isiklar. Victory first into the turn, Fendi 10 moving up to 2nd, then Zabo-Isiklar. They come close, but Fendi 10 once again pours on the power and speeds away, leaving Zabo-Isiklar in its wake, followed by Polyform. There you see the spectators who crammed along the shoreline to watch Race 2. Going into lap 2, Fendi 8 was in 5th just behind Polyform, with Ferretti and Team Abu Dhabi bringing up the rear. In 3rd place, Zabo-Isiklar chasing down Fendi 10, knowing they once again have the prop compensation to rely on. Trouble already for Team Abu Dhabi, which was barely able to make it past lap 1, and the race is reduced to 6 boats. Despite Victory's lead, it looked like Fendi 10 was closing the gap on the race 1 winners. Meanwhile, Fendi 8 had overtaken Polyform to move up into 4th place. Polyform has been beset by technical setbacks for the last 2 years, but when there are no gremlins in their boat, the Polyform team have proven they can race with the best of them. Into lap 6, Victory leads Fendi 10, Zabo-Isiklar 3rd, then Fendi 8, followed by Polyform and Farawakjiai. Victory does its first long lap in lap 6. Fendi 10, having already done theirs in lap 5 along with Zabo-Isiklar, try to cut down the gap with Victory and open the gap with Zabo. Victory goes from strength to strength, bouncing and flying through the wake of Farawakjiai as they lap the back markers. With 1 long lap left for each team, the long lap strategy would be crucial in determining the remainder of the race. Trouble for Fendi 10 in lap 8. They were in 2nd position, but they're out of the race with a broken torque sensor. What a shame for Fendi and Carpitella. That moves Zabo-Isiklar into 2nd position now and gives Victory an even more comfortable cushion over their nearest rivals. Moving into 3rd position and with a shot at their 2nd podium of the year is Amato and Jennings in Fendi 8. Polyform chasing Fendi 8 in 4th spot.
Okay, easy guys, easy, think fuel, okay?
Victory look comfortable, but they're urged by their team to conserve fuel. That 23-minute delay at the start could create fuel complications for teams now. After lap 9, the positions: Victory, Zabo-Isiklar, Fendi 8, Polyform, and Farawakjiai. Problems for Victory! Victory are in trouble! It's their left propeller! As Victory slowed to a snail's pace, Zabo-Isiklar takes the lead of race 2, lapping Farawakjiai on the way. The large Norwegian contingent were ecstatic. Could Team Zabo win their first ever race? Italian hopes now lie with Amato and Jennings and Fendi 8, who move into 2nd position, while Polyform is also in podium position in 3rd. Going into the final lap, the race was Zabo-Isiklar's for the taking. It would be their first ever win. But disaster! Zabo-Isiklar run out of fuel with less than a lap left. What a spectacular turn of events in this race, as Fendi 8 now have a shot at winning race 2 of the Mediterranean Grand Prix. Alfredo Amato and Miles Jennings in just their 3rd Grand Prix together, on track for a win. There it is, the winners of race 2 and the European Championship, Fendi 8, Miles Jennings and Alfredo Amato. Runners-up, Montevacci and Öktem in Polyform, a well-deserved result for them. But for Zabo-Isiklar, it's absolute heartbreak, despite getting 3rd place. Incredible results here in race 2. Fendi 8, Polyform and Zabo-Isiklar, with Farawakjiai finishing 4th.
You drive very well, and I'm very happy. Sometimes, for once, a little bit lucky.
Unfortunately, I'm not happy by the 3rd place because we expected something better, and we asked together with 2 other teams because of the postponed start to have reduced the amount of lap because we're going out of fuel.
The world overall standings at the end of round 3 sees Victory still reign supreme with 91 points, but with just 5 points separating Zabo-Isiklar, Fendi 10 and Hub Team Australia, not to mention a rising Fendi 8, the World Championship is still wide open going into the final round in Abu Dhabi. Fendi 8 also European champions ahead of Victory and Zabo-Isiklar.
We just really pushed hard as we could. We took the boys as close as we could and tried to chip away where we didn't have the straight line speed, perhaps just to try and get them on the corners and inch back a few there. And it seemed to work a bit, and we seemed to be holding our own against Zabo. So, you have to make your luck and push hard, and to win a race you have to finish. And of course we finished, so there we are.
This was such a great event. You can see from these wonderful people.
Grazie, Presidente.
The administration was fantastic here. You've seen really good sport, a lot of adrenaline. We are very much looking forward to come back here in Terracina. Thank you very much.
That concludes the Mediterranean Grand Prix in Terracina, Italy. Join us in Abu Dhabi for the fourth and final round of the 2013 UIM Class 1 World Powerboat Championship. And there we go, race 1 is underway as the machines roar and scream through the starting chute. Oh, Womax are out! Oh, they're airborne! There's contact!